Hello everybody!
Hey!
Welcome to the Truth Seekers channel with Chris from the Patch Universe.
Hey guys, Chris here from the Patch Universe.
Today we want to talk about George Orwell's Animal Farm. I did a video on this already. You saw it, eh? When I turned the Animal Farm story into the alien domination control of Earth. So let's start with the animals, who they are.
From humans to farm animals, there are plenty of characters in the book, but let's focus on the 7 main ones here. Napoleon is the main character in the book. He's a pig, and he rules the farm with brutality.
Napoleon is a pig.
He's representative of Joseph Stalin, keeping most of the wealth and the prosperity happening in the farm to himself and a select few followers, while oppressing others and executing those that cross him. Then there's Snowball. He's a pig whose intelligence and planning ability make him a great asset to the farm. He's an excellent strategist, and he's popular, known for his charismatic speeches and idealistic belief in animalism. He represents Leon Trotsky.
It's a Russian
Next,
communist.
Mr. Jones.
Yeah.
He's a human and a farm owner, and he's also a drunk who mistreats the animals and leads the rebellion in the first place to happen against him. He represents Tsar Nicholas II, who was driven out of the Soviet Union. Next, there's Squealer, another pig, who's a great public speaker and a mouthpiece for Napoleon and the fascist
A lot of pigs in this book.
He is modeled after Nazi propagandist Joseph Goebbels.
Wow.
Though most totalitarian regimes have those that present skewed facts and lies to reframe history for those in charge. Next, there's Boxer, a strong, hard-working horse who's dedicated, persistent, and powerful. His lack of intelligence and naivete causes him to follow the pigs blindly.
Strong.
I was just thinking the same, but except that for me I have the quality of the horse and you only have the bad things.
Next, there's Old Major. He's a boar, and he's the founding father of animalism. He believes in the revolution, and he shares his vision shortly before he dies. He's like the Soviet Union's Karl Marx or Vladimir Lenin.
There are a lot of old Russian
of the
communists and Marxists.
Last but not least, we have Benjamin the donkey.
I like that
He
one.
may be the
Benjamin
smartest
Donkey.
animal on the farm. He can read and write, but he doesn't see the rebellion as useful and doesn't participate in it. He's cynical
Donkey.
and thinks nothing ever really changes. Does this become a self-fulfilling prophecy? He's representative of the will of the educated people to get involved or stay back and let terrible things happen.
Okay.
Yeah, I like the end of the video. That's pretty interesting. I want to talk a bit more about that later in the video.
Alright. So there's the summary is about Animal Farm. It's set a farm in England. The farm is taken over by the animals. So the animals are playing the roles in this book. Also one human, of course, Mr. Jones. The pigs create commandments for all the animals to live by. Humans attack the farm and animals defend and win. Snowball, the pig leader, was kicked out of farm by Napoleon, the pig leader, for wanting to better the farm. The commandments start to change to benefit the pigs. So I think one of the commandments was all animals are equal except the pigs are more equal than others.
Yeah, that's a nice way to say it.
And the windmill was destroyed. That was destroyed, was rebuilt, and food was rationed to a minimum. Boxer, workhorse, collapses from hard work and is then taken to be slaughtered. Pigs start to become more human-like and have total control, and the animals cannot distinguish between human and pig. Yeah.
So, what's your take on that book? What's your take on what you just heard in the video and what you just read in that summary? What would you say about it?
Yeah, most people say it's of course an allegory of the Russian Revolution. You know, the plain people are revolting against the upper class, the aristocracy, the ruling order. So I see here rebellion, revolution against a class that is suppressing and keeping down the normal, ordinary citizens or civilians, and we are better than you. And in the saying, all these pigs are equal, and all animals are equal except the pigs are better. So it's I don't think about communism and capitalism, but most people think that.
Mhm.
In my video, I was more like the alien domination control of the humans.
So you believe actually that this book talks about the aliens controlling us and being superior to us, and we are like
Yeah.
being stupid.
If you can put animals to be human, why can't you put these aliens to be animals?
Okay, so actually we would be actually more like the horse, like the horse boxer actually who is actually really strong but very stupid, and then he's slaughtered.
Donkey. We are the rest of the animals. We are not the pigs. Pigs are the aliens. We are here to dominate us, control us.
Mm. Yeah, that's interesting. Yeah, that's an interesting view, actually. I must say, yeah, because there's these different animals. They are aliens to each other. To just use the word. So there's this difference between these different animals, and they're like the aliens. They're different. So that's actually a good way to put it. So do you believe that that was the message that the writer actually wanted to convey through his book, or actually that's just your interpretation of the book?
George Orwell didn't write an original story here. He had to get the story somewhere else.
Okay.
There's like this the red line, or the main thing about the story. They are people, or now in this case animals, that are unsatisfied. They are not happy.
Mm-hmm.
They are feeling bad. They are feeling like not being treated well, like some upper class or the bourgeoisie or the bosses. Like maybe in a company, the management or the higher level, or in a society, there is like maybe political parties or the people in power, who has control, are saying everything is okay. We are all good. We are making more money. We are going to boom, we are going to have a ball, everybody's going to be okay, and we're going to get more money, everybody's living in welfare, everybody's living good, we have enough food, everything is good and bright, but in reality, the people themselves are, hey, what is he talking about? What are they talking about? What are these politicians telling us? This is not true. We are not, everything is not good. We are not happy, we are not having food, we are getting less money, we are getting less paid. Where are these extra jobs? Where are these extra money? Where is this extra money? What's going on? They are like lying,
Mm-hmm.
and we are and the mass is like, that's not true. It's like telling us rubbish, and it ends up in a rebellion. You like fight back against the ruling order, like the French Revolution. Peasants are starving, mass. What shall we do? Said, we have enough cake. Let them eat cake.
Qu'il mange la brioche.
So that's like, and then people start talking like, hey, she said let us eat cake. What is that? It's stupid. Let's chop their heads off. So then they introduced the guillotine and chopped all these people's head off.
Yeah.
And on the other side, you have like the 90% of the population are starving, have to like work hard, getting mistreated from. Go to work, you have to work all day, pay all your money to the tax, and stay quiet, because if you rebel, we will chop you down. And it is also the French Revolution.
Yeah.
But before the French Revolution, you have the Sumerian book, or the Sumerian clay tablet, the Atrahasis.
Yeah.
I also made a lot of videos on the Atrahasis. You should check it out. This Atrahasis is also about rebellion of the working class against the leaders.
Yeah. And if I may add something here, because you talk about the French Revolution, then there's the communist, the Russian Revolution, basically, I think, And then you talk about the Sumerian and stuff like that, the working class actually rebelling against the leaders. And one of the things that I find really interesting when I heard, the guy talk about the characters, and when I read actually the description of them, is that you see that there is this ruling class, and there are the people below the ruling class, And the people below the ruling class are rebelling against the ruling class. But the thing that is interesting is that some people come up with this idea of like he talks about animalism, you know, and it's like a reference to actually all those political philosophies where actually like people had a set of beliefs and they defended that, and actually when they take over the power, instead of creating a more equal society, they create another power. You see what I mean? For instance, you had the farmer, I don't know, Mr. Jones, right? I think Mr. Jones is the farmer.
Jones.
Mr. Jones is the guy at the power, and every animal is below Mr. Jones. You know, they are mistreated by Mr. Jones, this drunken bastard. And the interesting thing is that at some point the pigs come up with this idea, which is we need to take over Mr. Jones and create a more equal society. But then the funny thing is that the pigs become the ruling class. So that's an interesting thing, is that actually the people below take over the power from the people above, and they actually do the same thing. It's just they don't care about equality. As you say, everybody is equal, but the pigs are more equal than the others. And the funny thing is that why did he choose pigs? You know, pigs, like, they are dirty animals. You know, they eat a lot. It's like, you know, when you talk about
dirty pig.
Yeah, they eat like, you know, like you say, they eat like pigs. You know, or like somebody is acting like a pig.
Yeah.
You know, it's not really a compliment when you compare somebody to a pig.
No.
And the funny thing is, like, for example, when you talk about, you know, this French Revolution, like qu'il mange à la brioche, or let them eat cake, they were eating a lot like pigs.
Yes,
you know,
they were the pigs.
They're actually rebelling against the aristocracy.
Yeah.
They're rebelling against the ruling class, and they're creating another ruling class, saying we are going to do things that way. You know, they become the pigs. So that's funny, because you see this thing repeating in our history, and the animal forms. It's actually, yeah, but these people, this person represents this person. Yeah, maybe that's the same idea, or they represent more than one person. But if you want, I'm going to read that.
Sure.
All right. One night, at Mr. Jones' manor farm, all animals meet in the barn to hear Old Major, a pig. He talks about a dream he has had about a world where all animals live free from the tyranny of humans. He dies soon after the meeting, but his dream had inspired the animals, so they plot a rebellion against Jones. Snowball and Napoleon, two pigs, become the supervisor of the farm because of their intelligence. The revolution starts, and Jones and his family are chased off the manor farm. Napoleon changes the name of the farm into Animal Farm, and he paints the 7 commandments of animalism on the barn wall, and they are about the equality of the animals. Initially, the farm prospers, and every Sunday the animals meet to debate farm policy. But Napoleon, who is a power-hungry leader, uses Snowball as a scapegoat on whom he blames all the animals' hardship. Afterward, he becomes a tyrant and starts to modify the commandment as it pleases.
The commandments. That's really...
The oppressed becomes the oppressor. The oppressor becomes the oppressed. You know? And then people who are below the oppressed becoming the oppressor remain oppressed. For example, after the pigs become drunk one night, the commandment, no animals shall drink alcohol. It is changed to no animal shall drink alcohol to excess. As time goes by, the pigs become more and more similar as human beings, and Napoleon changes the most important commandment.
Napoleon, no?
Napoleon.
Well, Napoleon, how do you think about the French Revolution? Huh?
Exactly. Yeah, because he came after the French Revolution, yeah?
Yeah.
The most important commandment, all animals are equal, all animals are equal, but some animals are more equal than others.
Over after the French Revolution, who was the leader?
Yeah,
Napoleon.
And then there was Napoleon, yeah.
Who was the leader here after this animal revolution?
Napoleon. But then, yeah, it can be many things. It doesn't have to be only the French Revolution. It doesn't have to be only the Russian Revolution or the Luxembourgish Revolution, for all that matters.
Or the Atrahasis with the alien revolution of the Anunnaki, the Ijiji workers against the Anunnaki rulers.
Yes.
Which I say is the original story of what George Orwell took.
He talks about the power that the intellectuals have to actually decide to either take action or not do anything about it. And just make a link, because I made a video on responsibility. Yes, a responsibility. Not so long ago, it's a responsibility of the people who know to take action, to do something about it. And like when we talk about aliens, for example, a lot of people actually like you are actually getting information of the aliens, and they're like unveiling the truth about it, you know?
Yeah,
But it's a way to take responsibility, but then actually we need to do more and more and dig further and work together, you know, to do something about it. You know what I mean?
yeah.
It's responsibility. We are the intellectuals.
Talk about it, even though people will call you crazy, you know, like
Exactly.
a lot of people will say, "Oh, you are crazy. Have you ever seen an alien?" And
Yeah, but
this, you know. But still, I feel the responsibility to.
Yeah, exactly. So, but these
Tell
people like who tell you that you're crazy, they're like the horse who is stupid. They are strong, they do their job, and everything keep going, and then they get brought. You know, they are brought to the slaughterhouse. You know, when they die. But you are the intellectual, and you can either become like the donkey or take responsibility and change history.
Thank you for watching.
You're very welcome.
See you next time.
See you next time, and it was a great pleasure actually joining you for this conversation, and I hope you're all gonna go to the Patch Universe. You're all invited.
Caught in the crossfire.